The night skies over Earth were not the same anymore. What once held only stars and the moon now carried something far greater, something terrifying and beautiful. They came without warning, vast alien ships, their hulls glowing with strange, blue symbols drifting into orbit as if they owned the heavens. For centuries, humans had asked themselves if they were alone. That question was answered in one night, not with peace or friendship, but with a demand. The Galactic Council, the mighty rulers of thousands of worlds, had revealed themselves at last. On every screen, every device, and every broadcast tower. Across Earth, the same message appeared. A tall alien figure stood, its skin pale silver, its eyes glowing like hot coals. Behind it were banners of dozens of alien races, each symbol shining like a warning. The alien spoke in a voice translated into every human language at once. People of Earth, you stand at a crossroads. The galaxy is vast, older than your young world can imagine. You have been watched. Your weapons grow dangerous, your numbers rise too quickly, and your ambitions stretch too far. The Council has decided you must surrender. Place your planet under Council rule. Deliver your armies, your fleets, your leaders to us. Refuse, and be destroyed. The message repeated again and again. Panic swept Earth. In every city, people stared at the sky, at the massive shapes of alien ships blotting out the stars. Governments called emergency meetings. News channels filled with chaos. Experts arguing if resistance was even possible. Most alien species, when faced with such a demand, had surrendered instantly. Some begged for mercy. Others fought small, hopeless wars before being crushed. The Council had grown used to fear. They had ruled for thousands of years by making young civilizations kneel before they could rise. But Earth was different. In Washington, Moscow, Beijing, New Delhi, London, and countless other capitals, leaders gathered in secret meetings. The world had never been truly united. Wars, politics, rivalries, mistrust. But now, the choice was simple. Surrender and lose everything, or fight and risk extinction. General Marcus Hale of the United Earth Defense Command looked at the images of alien fleets above the atmosphere. They don't expect us to resist, he said. They think we'll kneel like the others. That's their mistake. In Geneva, a young scientist named Dr. Amina Solari whispered to her colleagues, "They don't know what we've been building. They don't know what we've hidden." Her words spread like sparks in dry grass. Because the truth was, humanity had not been blind. Strange signals, whispers of alien presence, and even crashed ships had been discovered in secret long before. This day, hidden away from the public eye, humanity had prepared, slowly, quietly, desperately. They had built weapons, ships, and technologies in the shadows of space. And now, the choice came. On the day the Council expected Earth's surrender, a different message was broadcast back to the galaxy. The feed showed Earth's skies, the blue and white planet turning beneath, and then a man standing in front of the United Nations Assembly. His voice was calm, steady, but carried steel. President Elias Ward of Earth spoke for humanity. To the Galactic Council, we have heard your demand. We understand your threat. You expect us to bow. You expect us to break. But you are wrong. Humanity does not kneel. If you come with war, then war you shall have. We do not fight for conquest. We do not fight for tribute. We fight because Earth is our home and no one will take it from us. The message was short, but it echoed louder than any cannon across the galaxy. On alien worlds far away, species who had surrendered long ago watched the broadcast with shock. Many whispered that the humans were insane. Others whispered something more dangerous: hope. In the council chamber, the alien leaders erupted in anger. To them, humans were nothing but a young, fragile race on a single world, no match for fleets that spanned the stars. They laughed at Earth's defiance. They called humanity arrogant, foolish, doomed. But deep in their laughter was unease. Because there was something in the human voice, something in their eyes, something the Council had not seen in countless ages, a refusal to break. The first cracks of fear began to spread. On Earth, ordinary people braced for what was coming. Soldiers prepared in underground bases. Engineers worked night and day in hidden orbital shipyards. Families looked to the skies with both terror and pride. Every nation, every creed, every culture united under one thought. We will not surrender. In orbit, the alien fleets shifted into attack positions, preparing to strike. They expected a short war, perhaps only days before Earth was ash and rubble. But the galaxy did not know humanity yet. The demand for surrender had been given. The answer had been war. The alien fleets did not wait long. Within days of Earth's defiance, the sky above Mars filled with light. The Galactic Council had chosen Mars as the stage for their first strike. They believed crushing the colonies there would break human morale before the war truly began. To the Council, it was a simple plan. But they did not understand what humans were capable of when cornered. General Marcus Hale stood inside the command center of the Ares base, deep under Martian soil. Red warning lights flashed across every screen. Outside, the thin atmosphere shook with tremors as alien ships moved into low orbit. The people of Mars could see the invaders' silhouettes stretching across the horizon. "Signal from Earth," an officer reported. "Orders are clear. Hold the line. No retreat." Hale's jaw tightened. He knew the odds. The Council's fleet was massive. Shields, energy weapons, technology centuries ahead of humanity. But he also knew something else. Humans had been preparing in secret, and Mars was the perfect place to show the galaxy what that preparation meant. "Deploy the rail batteries," Hale commanded. "Bring the stealth frigates online. Today, Mars becomes their graveyard." The battle begins. The alien commander, a scaled creature from the Gerian race, looked down at the red world from his ship. His fleet numbered hundreds, each vessel capable of leveling cities. He sneered at the sight of the small human bases below. "Primitive," he hissed. "This will take less than an hour." But when the first alien warship descended, something unexpected happened. From hidden silos across Mars, enormous railguns rose, their barrels longer than skyscrapers. They fired with thunder, launching solid metal projectiles at near light speeds. No shields, no energy barriers could stop the sheer force of raw kinetic destruction. The first alien battleship shattered in an instant. A single slug tore through its shields, its hull, and its reactors. The explosion lit up the Martian sky brighter than the sun. The aliens froze. For the first time in centuries, their mighty ships had been destroyed not by other advanced fleets, but by a young species, using weapons of raw physics. General Hale watched the burning wreckage fall across the horizon. He allowed himself one small smile. "That's one," he muttered. "Let's see how many more we can send home." Stealth in the void. While the railguns pounded the alien fleet, another surprise waited in the shadows of space. Human stealth. Frigates, dark ships coated with adaptive plating, drifted unseen among the asteroid fields around Mars. Alien sensors, built to detect energy emissions, failed to see these silent predators. Commander Naomi Varga led the squadron. Her voice was steady as she gave orders. "Target their carriers. We're wolves. Pick them apart." The frigates moved in silence, then unleashed storms of missiles, each warhead carrying tungsten rods designed to pierce through alien hulls. Explosions tore through the Council's carrier ships, spilling fire across the void. On the alien command ship, panic spread. Their fleets had always been untouchable. Now, invisible enemies shredded them from angles they could not predict. "They fight like predators," one alien officer cried. "They adapt faster than our sensors can track," the Gerian commander growled, but even he felt unease. This was not the war he had expected. The human spirit. Inside the Martian cities, civilians huddled in bunkers, listening to the distant thunder of railguns. Fear was everywhere, but so was something else: pride. Teachers comforted children, telling them, "Our soldiers are fighting back. We will not kneel." Miners, engineers, and workers rushed to supply lines, delivering ammunition, fuel, and repairs. Every person became part of the fight. Dr. Amina Solari, stationed at Elysium Base, worked with her team to turn captured alien debris into usable weapons. "Every fragment we study teaches us something new," she said, "and we will use it against them." Her assistant frowned. But isn't that dangerous? Their technology is centuries ahead. That's exactly why we must learn faster, Solari cut in. That is what makes us human. We adapt. Alien shock. After hours of brutal combat, the alien fleet began to falter. They had expected an easy victory, but instead they faced losses greater than any battle in generations. Reports spread across the Council's communication networks. 3 battleships destroyed by kinetic fire. Carriers downed by invisible human craft. Troop transports obliterated before landing. The Council forces pulled back to regroup, disbelief echoing through their ranks. This is impossible, the Jerian commander muttered. They should not have this power. They are too young, too new. But deep inside he realized the truth. Humanity was not like the others. Humanity was dangerous. The price of resistance victory came at a cost. Mars was scarred. Entire bases were reduced to rubble. Thousands of humans had died in the defense. General Hale stood before his troops, his uniform stained with dust and blood. He looked at the weary faces of soldiers and civilians alike. You fought and you bled, he said. You faced the Council and showed them Earth will not bow. They now know our strength. They now know our spirit. But this is only the beginning. They will return with more fleets, with more fury. And when they come, we will be ready. The soldiers saluted, their voices united in a single cry. Humanity will never surrender. Across the stars, far across the galaxy, the news of Mars spread like wildfire. Alien species who had long ago surrendered to the Council listened with disbelief. Humans destroyed Council warships? They asked. Humans fought back and lived. On hidden worlds, whispers of rebellion began. For the first time in centuries, enslaved species dared to hope. Meanwhile, in the Council chamber, the alien leaders shouted in rage. This cannot stand. Crush them. Erase Earth from the stars before their defiance spreads. But behind their anger was fear. If humanity could resist now, what would they become in 100 years? 1,000? The Council knew one truth. If they did not end humanity soon, humanity would one day end them. The turning point. As the smoke cleared from Mars, humanity stood taller than ever. The first battle had been fought, and though the war was far from over, one fact had been proven to the galaxy. Humans were not prey. They were predators. The smoke of Mars had barely cleared when the galaxy began to whisper. For the first time in centuries, the mighty fleets of the Galactic Council had been stopped, not by an advanced empire, but by a world the Council called primitive. Entire battle groups were lost, and soldiers who survived spoke of humans fighting with the ferocity of predators. The Council leaders told themselves it was luck. An accident, nothing more. Yet deep in their hearts they feared something greater, that Earth had only revealed a fraction of its strength. And they were right. Hidden truths on Earth. President Elias Ward met with the United Defense Command in an underground chamber buried beneath the Rocky Mountains. Around him sat generals, admirals, and scientists. The room buzzed with energy, the air thick with urgency. They will come back, Ward said, his voice grim. And next time, they will come in greater numbers. If we are to survive, we must use every secret, every weapon, every project we have hidden away. General Marcus Hale, newly returned from the battle on Mars, leaned forward. It's time we show the world what we've been building in the dark. The scientists exchanged glances. For decades, hidden projects had been running beyond the eyes of the public. Alien wreckage recovered in secret crashes, strange signals decoded from deep space, and humanity's own relentless curiosity had given birth to technology the Council could not imagine. Dr. Amina Solari stood. Her voice was steady, though her eyes burned with determination. They believe us to be young, weak, but in truth, Earth has prepared for this moment longer than anyone knows. Allow me to show you. The asteroid shipyards. A secure transmission flickered to life, showing a distant asteroid belt far from Earth. Hidden within the rocks, massive structures turned slowly in the void. At first, they looked like shadows. Then the shapes became clear. Vast shipyards carved into the stone, their docks filled with half-built warships. These are the Aegis yards, Dr. Solari explained, constructed in silence over the last 20 years. The Council thinks we are confined to Earth and Mars, but they are wrong. We have built fleets in the dark. On the screen, huge ships came into view. Sleek, black, armored vessels with railguns the size of towers, missile silos that stretched for kilometers, and engines that burned like suns. They are not as many as the Council's fleets, Solari admitted, but they are designed for one purpose: to kill giants. Gasps filled the chamber. Many leaders had never seen the true scale of humanity's secret preparations. Weapons of a death world. Humanity had always been called reckless, even dangerous by their own scholars. Born on a planet filled with storms, earthquakes, predators, and disease, humans had learned to adapt and endure. That same spirit had shaped their weapons. Where the Council relied on energy shields and plasma beams, humans trusted in physics and brutality. Kinetic kill vehicles, giant rods of metal dropped from orbit, striking with the force of nuclear bombs but leaving no radiation. Stealth drones, silent machines that drifted like debris until they struck without warning. AI-driven warships, vessels capable of making split-second decisions, moving faster than alien commanders could react. Every time we fought nature, General Hale said, we learned to fight smarter. Now we fight the galaxy the same way. The spirit of Earth. While fleets were prepared in space, Earth itself transformed. Cities once divided by politics now worked together. Factories shifted to produce weapons and ships. Volunteers filled recruitment halls, young and old, standing side by side. In Tokyo, a mother hugged her son before he boarded a troop transport. Fight not for glory, she whispered, but for home. In Lagos, engineers welded armor plates onto a massive warship, singing as they worked, their voices echoing in the hangar. In Rio, children painted murals of human soldiers standing tall against alien warlords, their colors bright with hope. The Council had demanded surrender, but what they had created was unity. For the first time in history, humanity was truly one. Alien fear in the chambers of the Council. Panic spread. Reports from spies told them of hidden shipyards, of strange weapons beyond comprehension. They build faster than any race we've seen, one alien delegate growled. They fight with madness, said another. No, corrected an elder. They fight with purpose. That is far more dangerous. The Council debated sending a fleet large enough to crush Earth in one blow, but hesitation gnawed at them. Already whispers of rebellion had begun in the outer worlds. Other species, long enslaved by the Council, now looked to humanity as a beacon. If Earth could resist, perhaps they could too. Humanity had not only won a battle, they had lit a fire. Across the stars. The oath on Earth. President Ward addressed the planet in a speech broadcast to every home, every screen, every outpost across the solar system. My fellow humans, he began, standing before a vast crowd in New York. The Council believes us weak. They believe our spirit can be broken. But they do not know us. They do not know what it means to be human. We have faced extinction before, through ice, through fire, through endless wars. Yet always, we endure. Always, we rise. His voice thundered, carried by hope and fury alike. We did not choose this war, but we will finish it. We will not surrender. We will not bow. We will fight until the stars themselves are free. The world roared with approval. In that moment, humanity was no longer afraid. Preparing for the next strike in orbit above Earth. Fleets assembled. Warships once hidden now gleamed in sunlight. Crews tested weapons, engines roared, and banners of Earth and Mars flew side by side. General Hale inspected the flagship Eternal Resolve, a massive dreadnought freshly completed in the asteroid shipyards. Its railguns stretched for kilometers, its armor glistened with black plating. It was not just a ship, it was a message. When asked by a young soldier if humanity truly stood a chance, Hale answered, "We don't just stand a chance, we are the chance. For every world under their rule, we are the proof that the Council can bleed." The galaxy watches far away. In the hidden corners of the galaxy, Enslaved species tuned their receivers to secret human broadcasts. They saw human fleets rising. They saw Earth stand proud. On one world, an alien elder whispered to his people, "The humans are the storm, and storms cannot be stopped." The final revelation. Dr. Solari stood in her lab, staring at a sealed chamber. Inside, hidden behind steel doors, was the greatest secret of all, a colossal warship under construction, larger than any ever built by humanity. It was so vast it could only be assembled piece by piece in orbit, hidden in the asteroid fields. Its name was carved into its black hull, Titanus. When complete, it would not just be a ship, it would be a planet-sized fortress, a symbol that humanity was no longer a child among the stars. Solari touched the glass. "Let them come," she whispered. "They demanded surrender. Instead, they will see war such as the galaxy has never known." The gathering storm, and so, the stage was set. Humanity had revealed its secrets, not all, but enough to shake the galaxy. The Council's fleets gathered, preparing for their next assault. Humanity's warships waited, engines burning, weapons primed. The war was no longer about Earth alone. It was about the future of the galaxy itself. The galaxy demanded Earth's surrender. But humanity had chosen total war. The galaxy had begun to tremble. After the shocking resistance on Mars and the revelation of hidden Earth fleets, whispers of humanity spread like wildfire. The Council's slaves and minor allies no longer trusted them completely. They watched as a small, young world defied the star's most powerful rulers. But the Council was not defeated yet. They gathered their largest fleet ever assembled, hundreds of warships, battleships, carriers, and countless smaller fighters. They believed sheer force would crush Earth before its secret fleets could react. They were wrong. Humanity strikes first. Deep in the asteroid belt, Earth's fleet waited. The Aegis yards had completed more ships, each built in secret and armed, with devastating weaponry. The humans had learned from the first battle on Mars. They would not fight defensively. They would strike first. General Marcus Hale stood on the bridge of the Eternal Resolve, looking at the vast human fleet forming in the void. The flagship's engines hummed, ready to move at impossible speeds. "Today we change the game," Hale said, his voice carrying authority and fire. "The galaxy thinks they can scare us. They are wrong. We are the storm now. We do not wait. We attack." Commanders across the fleet nodded. Pilots checked weapons, crews secured ammunition, and engineers ran final tests. There was fear, yes, but also a fierce determination. Every human aboard those ships knew they were fighting not just for Earth, but for the right to exist as a free species. The first strike. The human fleet moved like shadows through the asteroid belt, avoiding detection until it was too late. Stealth frigates scouted ahead, marking weak points in the Council's formations. Kinetic kill vehicles hovered in orbit, ready to rain destruction. When the Council fleet appeared over the outer colonies, humans struck. Railguns fired from orbit, smashing alien supply ships into molten fragments. Stealth frigates darted through gaps in shields, launching missile barrages at carriers. Explosions lit up the darkness of space, a deadly ballet of fire and metal. The Council's commanders were shocked. They had never faced enemies so unpredictable, so adaptable. Every maneuver they expected humans to fail at, humans mastered. Every attack they assumed they could counter, humans had already countered first. "They are clever," one alien officer whispered, fear creeping into their voice. "Too clever." Galactic allies awake as battles raged, distant worlds began to notice Earth's defiance. Planets once under the Council's control began sending secret signals of support. Supplies, intelligence, and even small fleets were offered to humanity. On the planet Neria, a species enslaved for centuries prepared their ships for covert strikes. "If the humans can resist, perhaps we can too," a leader said. "We have waited for this moment." This was more than war. It was the spark of rebellion. Humanity had not only survived, they had inspired the oppressed. The human advantage. While the Council relied on their massive fleets, Humans used creativity, speed, and surprise. AI-driven warships made split-second decisions. Small strike teams carried out daring maneuvers that larger ships could never perform. Kinetic weapons, silent drones, and adaptive armor allowed humans to fight without fear of the enemy's counters. In the chaos, General Hale gave the order that would shock the galaxy. "Activate the Titanus assembly," he said. "Bring our secret weapon into the fight." Far in orbit, hidden among asteroids, the Titanus warship began to rise. Larger than any vessel in history, a mobile fortress with firepower that dwarfed the Council's largest battleships. Its hull gleamed black, armor layered with alien alloys scavenged and improved by human engineers. The Council commanders could hardly believe their sensors. "What is that?" an officer demanded. "That is the end of your fleet." Hale's voice echoed across comms. "The tide turns." With Titanus joining the fight, humanity began to take control of the battle. Alien ships fell to railgun slugs, missiles, and human ingenuity. Even the fastest Council ships were destroyed before they could escape. On Mars, survivors cheered as long-range communications reported victory after victory. Human pilots relayed their successes, showing images of burning enemy vessels. The galaxy had never seen such rapid, decisive results. The Council was forced to retreat, but not without damage. Several of their colonies were now exposed, and minor species under their rule began to rise in rebellion. The cost of war. Humanity's victories came with losses. Fleets were damaged. Soldiers were killed. Entire orbital stations were destroyed defending supply lines. Yet even in loss, humans did not despair. Every fallen soldier became a story, every destroyed ship a lesson. Engineers worked tirelessly to repair damage, and scientists analyzed alien wreckage to create even deadlier weapons. Dr. Solari stood aboard Titanus, overseeing the integration of alien technology. She looked out into space, the fires of battle reflecting in her eyes. "Every strike teaches us something," she said. "Every loss makes us stronger. They thought they could crush us with fear. They were wrong. Fear is not in our nature. We fight with hope, with courage, with humanity." The Council recoils. The Council, humiliated, called an emergency assembly. They could no longer underestimate Earth. Reports of lost fleets, destroyed colonies, and rebel planets filled their communications. "This cannot continue," one elder shouted. "We have ruled for thousands of years. These humans are anomalous. They cannot be allowed to survive." Another added, "If we destroy Earth, perhaps we can prevent this rebellion from spreading. But they are clever, too clever, and they adapt faster than any species we've encountered." Even within their ranks, fear grew. For the first time, the Council realized that humans were not just fighters. They were predators of the stars, and one day the galaxy might belong to them. Earth's message to the galaxy, with their victory spreading across the stars. Humanity sent a message to every Council-controlled system. "We do not bow. We do not kneel. We fight because we must, because we are free, and because no one has the right to take that freedom from us. The galaxy may watch, but we will not be stopped. Stand with us, or fall. Humanity will rise." On countless planets, oppressed species listened. They whispered of hope, of rebellion, of freedom. Humanity had become more than a single planet. They were a symbol, a rallying point, a storm rising across the galaxy. The calm. Before the next storm, as the fleets regrouped, Hale walked the bridge of Titanus. He looked at his officers and crews. "This battle is over," he said, "but the war has just begun. The Council will return stronger than before, but so will we. Every weapon we build, every strategy we plan, every life we train, it is all for the day they strike again." The crew nodded. Fear was there, yes, but above it burned a fierce determination. They were human. They never gave up. They never surrendered. Above the asteroid belt, the sun reflected off the black hulls of the human fleet. Ships that had been hidden for decades now sailed openly, unafraid. Every strike, every maneuver, every victory reminded the galaxy. Earth was no longer a child to be bullied. Earth was a force to be feared. The future of war in the shadows of distant stars, the Council planned their next move. Entire fleets would be deployed, even more massive than before. Every strategy, every weapon, every plan would be used to crush humanity. But humans did not wait. They moved forward, striking first, striking hard and striking fast. Every battle, every victory, every loss honed their skill. Every human soul carried the determination to protect Earth and freedom. The galaxy had demanded Earth's surrender. Humanity had answered with total war, and they had begun to turn the tide. The galaxy held its breath. For months the Council had regrouped. Entire fleets, more massive than ever, gathered in the outer systems. Their plan was simple: crush Earth completely, destroy the human fleet, and make an example that no young species would dare defy the Council again. But humanity was ready. Earth's fleets had grown larger, stronger, and faster. Every battle, every encounter had taught them lessons no alien commander could match. For the first time, the galaxy would see a war fought on humanity's terms. The gathering storm in the void above the Sol system. The alien armada appeared, a wall of ships stretching as far as the eye could see, their weapons glowing, their engines roaring. The Council expected fear. They expected surrender. Instead, they found silence, and the human fleet ready. Ships of every size, from stealth frigates to massive dreadnoughts, waited, engines humming. And behind them, rising from the shadows of the asteroid belt, came Titanus, larger than any ship in history. Its sheer presence turned heads across the galaxy. Even in the alien fleet. General Marcus Hale stood on the bridge of eternal resolve. Around him, officers waited in tense silence. Hale's voice cut through. Today we fight not just for Earth, but for freedom, for hope, for every world the Council has tried to crush. They believe in their numbers, in their fleets, in their centuries of power, but they forget one thing. He paused, letting the weight of his words settle. We are human, and humans never surrender. The crew erupted in unified shouts. Every hand on every ship was ready. Every pilot, every engineer, every soldier knew the stakes. The future of humanity, and the galaxy itself, depended on this battle. The battle begins. The first shots rang out across the void. Human railguns fired from Mars orbit, tearing through alien carriers before they could reach the inner systems. Missiles streaked like falling stars, exploding against massive hulls. Kinetic projectiles slammed into warships with forces the aliens could not comprehend. Titanus moved into position, its massive railguns charging. Its weapons fired with thunderous power, leveling squadrons of alien ships instantly. Smaller human vessels darted through the battlefield unseen until they struck. The Council's commanders screamed orders, trying to respond, but their strategies failed. Every move humans made was unexpected, every counterattack precise. For the first time, they were on the defensive. In the chaos, humans adapted instantly. Ships were damaged. New ones took their place. Ammunition low. Engineers created replacements mid-battle. Every failure became an advantage. The Council struggles. The alien leaders watched in disbelief. For centuries, they had crushed every young civilization that dared resist. But now, humans, a single planet's species, were breaking their fleets, inspiring rebellion and refusing to bow. This cannot be, one officer shouted. We have centuries of power. Our fleets should dominate. They are different, admitted another. They adapt. They fight as one. And worse, they never fear death. Panic began to spread through the Council ranks. Some fleets retreated to regroup, only to be intercepted by human strike teams. Others tried to flee only to find Titanus waiting, its guns unrelenting. The first cracks of defeat were forming in the supposedly invincible Council armada. Earth's allies. Join while the battle raged near the Sol system, other worlds joined. Humanity's fight. Planets once enslaved by the Council sent ships and weapons. Covert fleets struck from behind enemy lines, hitting supply bases and communications arrays. On the planet Neria, rebels cheered as human broadcasts reached them. The humans are winning, a young pilot shouted. We will be free too. Every ally brought new hope. Every strike weakened the Council's grip. Humanity had not only defended itself, they had become the spark of a galaxy-wide revolution. The turning point hours into the battle, Titanus unleashed its full power. Its massive energy cannons and railguns fired simultaneously, cutting through the Council's main fleet like a scythe through wheat. Alien battleships exploded in chains of fire and debris. From stealth frigates to orbital defense platforms, every human weapon worked in unison. Pilots coordinated attacks flawlessly, striking the Council's weak points with deadly precision. The alien commanders realized with growing horror, humanity had turned the tide. The war was no longer about survival. It was about dominance. Sacrifice and heroism. Even in victory, humanity paid the price. Entire squadrons were lost. Engineers and soldiers died repairing ships under fire. Civilians on colonies worked tirelessly to resupply the fleets. One young pilot, Lieutenant Kara Jensen, made the ultimate sacrifice. Her ship rammed an enemy dreadnought threatening Titanus, giving the massive warship the opening to destroy the alien flagship. She saved thousands, perhaps millions, with her courage. On Earth, her story spread quickly, becoming a symbol of the human spirit. Every life lost fueled determination. Every victory inspired hope. Humanity understood the cost of freedom, and they were willing to pay it. The Council collapses. As the battle dragged on, alien fleets began to fall apart. Communication broke down. Commanders fled their posts. Planets under the Council's rule stopped fighting, some even opening their doors to humanity's fleets. In the final moments, Hale and Ward addressed the Council through a direct transmission. You demanded our surrender. You underestimated us. You believed your centuries of power made you invincible. But Earth is human. We do not bow. We do not surrender. Today your fleets fall, your tyranny ends, and the galaxy will never forget the strength of our people. The Council's flagship erupted in a massive explosion, its command destroyed. Remaining alien fleets scattered or surrendered. For the first time in history, the Council had been defeated. A new order. The battle ended, but its consequences echoed across the stars. Humanity had proven itself, not just as survivors, but as warriors, innovators, and leaders. Worlds once oppressed reached out to Earth, pledging support. The galaxy had changed forever. On Earth, people celebrated. Streets filled with cheers. Soldiers returned home. Families reunited. But amid the joy, leaders knew the work had only begun. Peace was not given. It had to be defended. General Hale looked at Titanus, now orbiting Earth like a silent guardian. This is just the beginning, he said. The galaxy saw us today. They will remember humanity forever, and we will be ready for whatever comes next. The human legacy, from that day forward, Earth was no longer a simple world among many. It had risen, against all odds, to challenge the greatest power the galaxy had ever known. Humanity had declared war, fought, and won. The Council had demanded surrender, but humanity had given them something they could not take back. Respect, fear, and awe. The galaxy had witnessed Earth's power, and for the first time, species across the stars realized that humans were not just survivors. They were predators, innovators, and protectors. As humanity looked to the stars, they knew one thing. The war was over, but the legacy had just begun. The galaxy had learned a simple truth. Never underestimate humans. And humanity would never forget what it meant to fight for home, for freedom, and for the future of the stars.